All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're going to see if it has BSS for its local search, Naperville, Iowa, or for its city search, Naperville, Illinois, and its city search, Chicago, Illinois. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we take declining boudoir photographers, make them the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Look at the pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever, where we talk more about that. I focus on FSIC because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our intent spectrum here, way on the left highest intent, way on the right lowest intent. So if a boudoir photography business is rising, they're most likely bringing in everyone from this entire intent spectrum, from highest to lowest intent. And if we got a boudoir photography business that is falling, most likely we are missing chunks of people somewhere here on this intent spectrum. So here we focus on BSS, way on the left, the highest intent peeps. This is social search, Google search, searching for, boudoir photo shoot in my, in your city. And way over on the right, that's our sister brand. Got different profiles for that. Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. That's where we're talking about BLCS getting in front of the lowest intent people in our city, which are actually the largest volume of peeps. And right now we're currently only working with boudoir photographers spending more than $10,000 a month on boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. This one, a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, 0 slots. I mean, we're down to fast death here, because we know that approximately 80% of boudoir or of Google searches never go to page 2. They are page 1 only searches. So literally, it's approximately 80% of searches. That's obviously the bulk of the market. So the bulk of the market never even sees page 2. So yeah, not good to be there. 1 slot on page 1 is also not good enough. Because if there's 10 organic slots, if there's 9 other boudoir photographers, everyone's got a slot. That means a buyer's just clicking everyone's link, contacting everyone. That could be, 9 other competitors price shopping us, price comparing us. So 1 slot, we don't even look any different than anyone else. So 1 slot is simply not enough. And 0 1 slots on page 1 in Google is actually not normal. Extremely common, accepted, but actually not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So to have so few page 1 slots on Google is not normal. And the 2 deeper root causes causing this are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, everyone knows that. Over time there's more and more boudoir photographers entering the market. It's because whenever anyone gets a new iPhone, they throw up their Google My Business profile, throw up a website. Now they compete in page 1 organic search with us with their website, saying that they do boudoir photo shoots. Also, if anyone gets a camera, now they're posting the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Lowering prices, lower margins from everyone, and actually making it harder for all the sellers. So there's more sellers to the same number of buyers, makes it harder for all the sellers. And B, the false belief of page 1 equality. Dude, this is the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. This is, to believe page 1 equality is to believe, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 1 slots on page 1, and if you had 1 slot on page 1, then a new boudoir photographer came in, now they're on page 1, you got bumped down on page 2. It's kind of like, oh, that's how it is. That's how it is. And nobody's taking any effort to correct it. It's not normal to be kicked off of, to stay on page 2 and have 0 slots on page 1. It's not normal to have even 1 slot on page 1. It's been accepted that everyone gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1, and that's simply how it is. Incorrect. And I know it's incorrect because I went from 0 out of 1 slot, 0 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 for my desired keyword in 10 days. We'll see pictures of that in a few pics. So people accepting the false belief of page 1 equality, well, they accept that it's true. #1 killer boudoir photography businesses from what I've seen. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we're building up our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page 1 equality, the false belief of page 1 equality, thinking that there's nothing we can do. It's kind of like we believed it was true, we auto accepted it, we didn't even question it, so we're kind of like mentally in a box, so we couldn't even punch through the box to see, oh, there is a solution out there. And thankfully we have that solution. We have it because we invented it. We know that BS S is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. It is exactly what it says. We're saturating social search with the highest buyer intent keywords for people who want to buy a boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we saturate social search with those keywords, what actually happens is there's kind of like the small little streams on the backside of the Andes Mountains that then flows into the large Amazon River, which is page one on Google. So if we successfully saturate social search, then it is, and if we keep saturating it, it's inevitable we'll eventually take as many slots on page Google as we want, depending on how much effort we want to put in. Now, what is amazing about SQ methodology is the only thing that I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight back against market saturation with relatively quick results. Obviously, the one thing, as always, is brand. I can fight back against market saturation, but dude, that takes 5 years, 10 years. We ain't got that time anymore. AI is coming, taking people's jobs. We literally do not have the time. We need something that gets faster results. Faster results. Give me the faster results. We ain't got time to build a brand. But also, SQ methodology helps us to build a brand faster and quicker than anyone else, any other method available elsewhere. So it's kind of a double bonus using SQ methodology. So here's how it fights back market saturation. Let's say we're in Seattle, Washington. There's a million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir. They're a boudoir photographer. Everyone's competing to rank page one on Google. So we crank up SQ'd methodology to the maximum. And what we actually do is we rank for the highest intent keywords across social search, for the first 300 slots. And so if people search those keywords, for boudoir photo shoot in Seattle on social, the first 300 slots are taken up by us. And as a result, let's say that flows onto Google as well, and it dominates. We're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well. And so anytime anyone in our city searches on social or Google, dude, literally the first 30 pages on Google, at least, they can only find us because it's basically like 10 organic slots per page, and literally 30 pages full of us. And it's our competitors literally got to go to page 31 to even find us in the first place. And dude, we already know 80% of searchers don't even go to page two. They're page one only, so they ain't going to page 31. And so we're essentially the only one that boudoir photo shoot buyers can find, which means whose business is growing? Our business is growing because we're dominating search everywhere for the highest intent keywords. People searching for boudoir photo shoots now in Seattle now. We're closest to the money now, and we're growing. Everyone else is disappearing. They're shrinking. And again, that's the only thing that I've seen that successfully can outcompete market saturation in the short term and in the long term, because it actually turns into brand in the long term anyways. So this is some magic stuff we got here. Now, once true with SQ'd methodology, we have page one visibility. And a bonus of this is we're actually kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because again, approximately 80% of Google searches never even make it to page two. They're page one search only. So more people we kick off, more buyers never even see them, the fewer boudoir photographers we've been price shopped against. Awesome. That's kind of an extra initial benefit from utilizing SQ'd methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And our GBC recommended level is to hit a minimum of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google, because that means we're kicking out 2 or 3 boudoir photographers from page one we can be price shopped or compared against that are 80% of buyers ain't ever going to see them anyway, because they ain't never going to hit page two. And so if we got 3 slots on page one, we're looking way better than all those that have 1 slot, which is basically going to be everyone else. Going to look way more trustworthy. Kind of subconsciously, buyers going to think, "Oh, why is Google recommending this person 3 times? We better check them out, and maybe not even check out the other people on page one." And then 3 slots better than 2 slots, because yeah, there's a small chance another competitor may have 2 slots on page one. But if we successfully outcompete them, dude, guess what? I mean, if we got 3 slots, we're looking better than them anyway. So we're looking better than all competitors with 0 slots or 1 slot or 2 slots. We're looking way better than that. That's boudoir search visibility. We also know that boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, BSV, is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation, the dual horns, market saturation, and page one, the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. Thankfully, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility, and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, my results here using S-cubed methodology for myself, because yes, I invented it. I want to rank for the keyword BLCS boudoir. Okay, I used it over 10 days. My results got slot 1, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. No website necessary. And so I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search in 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. All right, now into the main event here. We're going to see this boudoir photography business, if they got BSS for either their local search of Naperville, Illinois, or their city search of Chicago, Illinois. So, all right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got cooking. So we're in Naperville first. So, boom, we got one. We got one slot. Boom, we got 2 slots. All right, nice. So for local search, we do not have BSS boudoir search sameness. We got 2 out of 10 slots, but we did not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. Next, let's go look at city search Chicago. Super competitive here. So let's see. All right, we want to see how many slots we got here. All right, we actually got 0 out of 10 slots for the city search. I mean, Chicago is super competitive, so no surprises there. So no BSS for local, yes BSS for city search, but for both local and city search, we did not meet the GBC recommended of 3 out of 10 slots in Google page 1 search. So if you're a boudoir photographer, a disappearing boudoir photographer, which means you've done local search for the highest intent keywords in your local area for that boudoir buyers will be searching, and you've done the highest intent keywords for your city or close to city for highest intent keywords boudoir buyers will be buying, and you either have BSS for one or both, boudoir search sameness, or you do not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google for either one or both. And you're seeing, you're liking the initial benefits of S-cubed methodology. You decide this is the one path, the one solution forward for you. Because you want more slots page 1 on Google, and you definitely want to catch your competitors page 1 on Google, kick them to page 2, where now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even make it to page 2. So the bulk of the market will never even find your competitors through organic search. And, you want to use S-cubed methodology because now you understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief, and Google actually wants to give as many page 1 slots as possible to those who want to put in the effort to take them. And now we realize we got a methodology, a solution to take them with S-cubed methodology. And you understand the market saturation, new phone, new gear, bringing new boudoir photographers in. But you also are looking ahead and you're seeing that, hey, you actually need to fortify your business, and you decide you're going to fortify your business against the future boudoir photographers that come in, not only from the new iPhone and the new camera, but also the much larger share. The larger share is actually going to be more people losing their jobs to AI, and they still got to earn money. They still got to pay their expenses, and everyone's got a great camera attached to their iPhone already. So there's going to be way more boudoir photographers coming into the market because of AI, and you actually want to give yourself, fortification in preparation of those boudoir photographers coming into the market, kind of like the levees in New Orleans. They build up the sandbag levees because New Orleans is actually below sea level. So you actually want to build up that fortification in preparation for the future boudoir photographers entering the market, which is going to be more and more over time. So you already decided you're going to prepare for that, and you realized, hey, paying for Facebook ads ain't doing that. That's on Facebook. Paying for Google ads ain't doing that because that's only one slot on Google. The only option that gives you multiple slots is S-cubed methodology for boudoir photographers. And so you realize you need this solution. You want the initial benefits. You want the, pre-fortification benefits. because you need to achieve page one visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer and have boudoir search visibility, because you know you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the back-end benefits as well, which we've not talked about yet, but you actually understand already, which is every day we execute S-cubed methodology correctly, we are actually increasing and building up these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, or spokes, hub and spoke. It's attached into our business name, our brand name, our social accounts. And what this is doing, this is building up massive momentum and mind share in the back end of these AI systems. So every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology together, we're actually increasing the probability you get recommended here, AI overview, premium placement, the one top slot for a search in your city for a boudoir photographer, as well as increasing the probability that regular AI searches actually give you, actually feature you as well, as be ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Standard Google search still about 90% of searches globally, but dude, AI search is growing every day. I haven't done normal Google search probably in like a year to actually like read and learn stuff from a website. I just do the AI mode on Google. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer was in well, I remember it gave me 3 options, but I actually went on my own and looked like Google standard search, and there were about 60 options. So, dude, AI search can be more and more. S-cubed methodology gives us higher chances of showing up AI overview at the top and all AI search. And you also recognize the final kind of extra benefit of using S-cubed methodology being, since you've decided to be the first mover in your city, you can make all this progress, build up all these initial benefits and the momentum for the future benefits, kind of the invisible AI mindshare for your business, ahead of all your competitors, because right now my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city on this. And so as a result, you actually, every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology together, we are building up, got initial benefits initially happening very fast, and kind of the long-term benefits, the invisible benefits for AI overview recommendation, AI search recommendation. Every day we're putting a bigger and bigger gap between your current competitors and the future competitors coming from AI stealing people's jobs and people becoming boudoir photographers because they need to earn money. We're building up this momentum where basically no one, when we execute on this, no one's going to be able to catch up to us. Because conversely, if someone else in your city went with me first, you would have to rederive or derive for the first time the correct way to do S-cubed methodology, and you would never actually be confident you've derived the correct way to do it. Never be 100% confident, and then you'd have to go equal our execution with me and your competitor. But we've already been doing it long before you, so we've already built up a massive gap between then and you with all the initial benefits and the future benefits, momentum with AI mindshare. So you'd have to then execute the same amount of us every day. And then if you did that, you'd simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor have already made of us being ahead of you. So you'd have to actually double or triple our execution to pull that AI mindshare, those invisible thematic keyword columns away from the competitor's brand, competitor's name in your same city for the AI mindshare in the back end. Pull that back towards yourself, and like, dude, who's got time for that? I mean, how are you gonna outcompete the person that invented S-cubed methodology? Me. So you've decided, screw that. You decided, okay, you're gonna be the first mover because you want to be the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DM's open. The hospital is not currently open for new patients. When I do open up for new patients, I watch these videos. I'll put out a notice, and yeah, shoot a DM then, and we'll see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.